You're such an asshole.
Continuing to bang out asshole consulting. A not so young man writes. Alright, let me explain where that comes from. Hello, children. Hello, children. That is not Chef. That is Three Dog, I think, from Fallout 3. And then, you know, Michael writes. That's me spoofing Casey Kasem back in the 80s when he'd do the top 40s hit, which most of you are too young to remember. Hi, asshole. Give it to me straight, buddy. Go full asshole. The question is about finding a woman. About me, 42, divorced 4 years ago from a 13-year marriage with 2 kids, 6'6", and built like a mountain of Game of Thrones. Software developer earning 150 to 170,000 US, gifted 99th percentile IQ, and I can't for the life of me find a woman even willing to date me. Now I have 2 obvious problems. I'm overweight but not unfit. You can go full asshole on me on this, but if you do, give me a diet that works. I already know I need to lose weight and have tried unsuccessfully for 3 years. So I had you send me some pictures. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you could lose a little bit of weight, but you also have larger frame. Not to say, like, you're sturdy boned. No, dude, you're sturdy boned. And yeah, maybe you got a little bit, but you've got this look like this strong. What's the word? I'm not gay. You look like a lovable giant. Like, I could see the ladies like it. It's like more of a Walter Matthau-ish type of charm that you got. I mean, you don't look like Cary Grant, but you're this big dude, and you're smart. And every picture you send me, there's girls hanging on you. You got girls all over. Now we're going to find out why later, but I would not be chalking your problems up necessarily to your weight. You know, plus you're 42. Like, everybody starts, you're not 22 anymore. People kind of understand, yeah, as you get older, you get uglier, and everybody gets fatter, apparently. I don't know why, but, yeah, you're not, okay, maybe you got to lose 20 or 30 pounds, but on 6 foot, that's actually a small amount, 6'6". But I would not charge your issues up to you being slightly overweight. I just don't, no woman's going to look at you and say, look at that fat ass. They're going to be like, oh, wow, he's tall. That's like the first thing they're going to notice. It's like, holy shit, he is tall. But then you're smiling all the time. I do Latin dancing at least 6 hours a week, and I'm quite good at it. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I do Latin dancing at least 6 hours a week, and I'm quite good at it, as in women actively seek me out to dance with me. That's good. Also, every 2 to 3 weeks, I camp, hike, kayak, supboard. The belly fat just won't bloody shift. I also have 0 game. All right, well, let's okay, yeah, before we go on, let's address the weight. All right, if you want to diet, it's just work for me, and Lord knows if it's going to work for you. It's the no carbs, and you work out regularly, and you diet. I mean, that's it. It's just vegetables and chicken and fish and a little bit of carbs here or there. But you certainly have the activity down. Yeah, if you're Latin dancing 6 hours a week, you're getting your cardio in, you're doing hiking, kayak. Yeah, man, it may just be your body ain't going to take. About the only thing I would do is maybe change your diet. I don't know, can you run? I don't know if your knees can handle it. Larger fellows like you would, you don't want to screw up your knees either. Swimming, maybe. I'm really throwing shit at the board. Because one, I only know what worked for me, but since you are so active, and very much so, the only thing I would recommend is change your diet, and try and do, I don't want to say an extreme diet, but by extreme, like no burgers, no red meat. It's just chicken, fish, and veggies, and it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks, but it's like a mental change. It's just like, no, this is what I'm eating. Like, I got hit with high cholesterol, and then I also wanted to get in really good shape and I've gone to fucking pot since. And I got serious, and it was just, I didn't even think about it. Didn't even fucking think about it, because I didn't want to think about it. It's like, no, I'm going to have my oatmeal, then I'm going to have my almonds, then I'm going to have my cholesterol, and then I'm going to eat my fish and my veggies, and it's just, you fill up your stomach so it stops growling. That's it. You don't care what you eat. It's just, if you could take a pill and just swallow it down and puts food in your stomach. That's kind of the mentality I had with this diet. But then I would run one day, lift weights the other. Run one day, lift the other. And yeah, I lost gosh, almost 20 pounds. I actually lost too much weight and had to put some back on. So then I took a bunch of protein powder. That might be something to consider. Get like just a bunch of protein powder, and if ever you feel hungry, have a scoop of that. But yeah, just try cutting out the carbs and do that for like 2 to 3 weeks so it kicks in, and then see if you get rid of your belly fat. But like I said, I am not terribly convinced it is your little gut you happen to have, because it doesn't look like, maybe you took very rare pictures, but it looks like you're having the fun time of your life and you're in pretty damn good shape and the girls all having fun with you. So I don't know, fat guys don't have girls hanging out with them all the time like that. I also have zero game. I'm face blind, which means the bit of my brain that records faces is broken. I can see a woman smile at me, I just won't remember it. Think of it like when you go into the next room and can't remember why you walked in there. Yes, it makes it very hard to recognize people. It makes flirting incredibly hard, as I have zero memory if she's been flirting with me most of the time. I also like to dress like a dag, but for the most part it's deliberate. I detest gold diggers. What's a dag? You fucking Australians with your weird words. Dag. An unfashionable or socially conservative person. Australian, informal. Alright, well, I don't know if you're dancing that much, and that I don't, and girls are actively approaching you. I don't think it's your fashion. It would help. Look, let's just try everything. Maybe dress up a little bit more. Don't go overboard. Don't put on a fucking hat this way with sunglasses and a fucking chain clock. All right, just maybe touch up the fashion a little. You make enough money, you can afford it. And you have zero game. I don't know if you have zero game. See, look, people with zero game don't go ballroom dancing. They don't approach women and ask them to dance. They certainly don't have girls coming up and asking them to dance. You might have this natural game that you're unaware of, that, the natural alpha. He doesn't know it. He's just really good at sports, looks really good. He always gets along with girls because from pre-puberty to puberty, all the girls would talk to him anyway, so he's not aware that I think you probably have better game than you realize. It's just not this conscious game. And then your memory, man, I don't know. You can't just say, let me get a picture of you. Let me take some notes. I would, you gotta talk to a neurologist about that. But I would try to make an effort to remember the girl's name. There was this guy on the Twin Cities dance scene. Unfortunately, I think he passed away. His name was Richard, and he always had a notepad with him, and he'd always take people's names down. Not in a Hitler, Nazi-like way, but so he could remember their name. Maybe that's what you do, all right? If there's a really cute girl, you have your notepad or on your phone. Do the phone, because then that way no one, you pull out a notepad, like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm taking notes. Why? On you, so I could remember your face. Just take your memo pad on your phone. You meet a girl, and I always forget names. I'm horrible. Like, I literally have people, hey, how you doing? Who the fuck? I mean, you could ask me 3 seconds later, what was that person's name? Oh, I don't know. So what I would do, if all of a sudden you see a girl that's really cute, and you're introduced or whatever, get her name, talk a little bit, and keep, what her name, and then go to the bathroom or something and then jot her name down with a note about her, all right? So if you can't remember her visually, hopefully you can remember, something. Had green eyes, strawberry blonde hair, 5'3", big tits. Well, don't put that. Someone steals your phone. What you doing, this fucking creeper? Something like that where you would, okay, so then that way the next time you see that person, I know. In other words, put some dedicated effort into trying to remember these people somehow. And if you can't have photographic memory, do it with your phone. Take down some notes, and then oh yeah, who was that? Oh, it's Amy. She's the one with long blonde hair and a cute bubbly ass. All right, and so that, because I don't know how you flirt with someone if you don't remember their name, or like, hey you. And here's another thing. If you know you've only met that person once, nothing wrong with saying, what was your name again? Because it shows that you're not a stalker. I know it's this reverse shit going on where it's like, well, that'd be kind of rude if I don't remember that name. Dude, these girls have all these guys remembering everything about them, constantly harassing them. It was like, I remember, I was 22? Yeah, 22. Or was I 23? I think I was 22. Can't remember. I remember there was this one gal, and I had to cancel on a date. like the day of. And I thought, oh God, she ain't gonna like that. And then, but I had to. I got called into work, and then sure enough, she went out with me. And then it was successful, and it taught me very early on that it's not polite. It's how little you supply women with you, how little attention. Now, not that you're treating them like shit, but you don't dote on them. You don't hang on their every word. And if you demonstrate like, oh, I forgot her name, it's not the worst thing. So you can always say, I'm sorry, I have a horrible memory, visual, and just, but what was your name again? And then they'll be like, oh, he didn't. And then you immediately, at minimum, you do this. You eliminate any fears about her that you're a stalker. That's kind of like the upside potential. So it's like, what was your... Because then she's like, oh, he didn't even remember my name, so he's not going to stalk me. He's safe. See what I'm saying? So you may not even have to take notes, but, you know, if you met this girl for the 5th time, she's probably going to get a little like, this fucker. But yeah, take some notes, and if you don't remember the girl's name, say, I'm terribly bad with names, and I have bad face memory, but what was your name again? And nothing there. I've basically given up at this point. I keep asking myself, what benefit is there to a relationship? And honestly, other than sex, I think I'm better off with good friends and all my hobbies. For the majority of yes, you're right. Yes, the majority of relationships fail. The majority of relationships are not worth it. And you're of the age now, your testosterone is going down, that this brain has a little bit more ability to override the one down there. And it's not constantly influenced by testosterone and hormones. But yeah, if you look at it empirically, most relationships aren't worth it because most relationships fail. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try, but you're becoming older, and then, you know, I'm your age, and, you know, I've had my same girlfriend for about 10 years, and it's not that I don't look, but man almighty, like if my girlfriend went away, I like, what? Like, do I have to go date? Like, no. I think I just probably watch some spaghetti westerns and binge on philosophy podcasts. I'm not kidding. I may not ask a girl out, but yeah, it wouldn't be like you're 22 anymore. But it really isn't. The price, not only is the price you pay not worth it for men, but your interest genetically and biologically goes down as well. It's just kind of like, what? Go to a night? No, you have fun. I'm not gonna. To be honest, it's incredibly hard for me to find women I'm even interested in. I have access to a lot of girls, several thousand of them, through Latin dancing, learning French at the university where I'm doing my master's in astronomy part-time, and through Mensa. Well, you're a regular fucking loser, aren't you? Holy shit, dude. You're like that, what was his name? Johnny Kim. This pilot, astronaut, Navy SEAL, doctor, astronaut. That's what he is. I mean, well, okay, maybe you're not there, but it's certainly not you. It's not like you're this boring, all-for-no-nothing guy. You got plenty on your hard drive. Sadly, only about 1 in 100 girls do I even find remotely likable. Most women, and men if I'm being honest, I find boring as watching paint dry. I swear if I hear another blow-by-blow of a reality TV show, I'm going to dig my eyes out with a spoon. Or they give off way too many red flags. My ability to detect women who have zero empathy towards men is pretty well developed, which includes every feminist and leftist I ever met. Yeah, stay away from that. I've asked most of the girls I do like out, which isn't maybe 20 or so, and subsequently been friend-zoned by all of them. Okay. At first I didn't mind this so much, as after my divorce I needed friends more than I needed a relationship, but now it sort of sucks. All right, let's stop here. There's 2 problems. The first one is something you don't control, and that is your intelligence. If you're in Mensa, I don't know if you ever read my book, Curse of the High IQ. If you haven't, please pick that up. That's a must for anyone who's smart. I don't know if you knew the studies of the statistics, but women's intelligence is much more tightly controlled on the Bell distribution curve. It hovers more around the center. And then on the tails, there are more dumb men than there are women, and there are more smart men than there are smart women. And depending on how far away from the mean you get, let's just only focus on the intelligence, I'd have to look at my statistics again, but like I think it was like if you had 3 standard deviations to the right, like you had an IQ of 145, yeah, 145, there's 3 guys with that IQ for every 1 girl that has that IQ. Now, don't quote me on that, The problem is if you're in Mensa, what is that, like a 130 IQ or higher? It's like a 2-to-1 ratio minimum, guys to gals. And to find a girl that's as intelligent as you, who isn't watching TV reality show, shit, just to find a male friend who is as smart as you, who isn't talking about reality TV shit and the dude bros and watching rugby or whatever, it's going to be very hard for you. So for both social life, friends and all that, it's a little bit harder, especially now that you're a father and you're not going, well, you are going to school, so maybe you find some friends there. But for the typical average person who's smart and in their 40s, the social network of school is no longer there, so very smart people, you could be alone. You could be alone at a party all the time. It's a pain in the ass. So it's very hard to find colleagues, friends. And then for men, it's doubly hard to find a woman of equal intelligence if you have to be very high on because of the tightly controlled Bell distribution curve of women's intelligence. So this may just simply be out of your, well, it is out of your control. You don't control how intelligent you are. You don't control how intelligent other people are. And this is, I'd like to say there was a solution. You're doing everything possible. You're going to university. You're picking up different hobbies. You belong to Mensa. You're in Latin dancing. But even then, that may not be enough. Because here's another problem with male friends, female friends, and female love interests. Just because they have a high IQ doesn't mean you're going to like them anyway. I'm sure there are plenty of intelligent women, but they're leftists. And I'm sorry, I'm not dating a leftist. I have no romantic or social interest in someone who insists on increasing the state and fighting against freedom. None whatsoever. So you may just have to admit, well, no, you don't have to. You have to admit, not going to have to, you will admit that the statistics are very much against you in this case, to find a girl that stimulates you intellectually, to be a friend or to be a romantic partner. And then you got to find someone who's you're physically attracted to as well. So what I don't want you to do, and what I kind of warn about in the book, is wasting all this time without acknowledging the statistical cliff you got to climb, and wasting that time that could have been spent doing other things. Also, to put your expectations into check, because you'll torture yourself thinking, "Oh, is there something?" Yeah, that's the other thing. You'll think there's something wrong with you. Like, "Oh, what am I doing wrong?" You're not doing anything wrong. You're like, "I want to go catch a sturgeon," and like you're going to this little shitty ass lake in Ohio. It's like, dude, there might be a sturgeon in there, but I don't think there has been one for 150 years. There's a chance you might find one, but it's very unlikely. And you keep fishing and fishing and fishing, and you're just never going to catch that sturgeon. There might be one in there, but it's very incredibly hard. And you just waste your life. You get more depressed. So I think what you have to do is honestly acknowledge and assess the statistical hurdles you are facing. And that if you don't find a girl or you're not finding intellectual stimulation, don't think there's something wrong with you or get depressed. I mean, it's hard not to get depressed or sad because it's like, I'd like to talk to somebody. I would like to talk to somebody about anything other than CNN, drama politics, or the hockey ball game. I'd like to, and you just have to acknowledge that maybe there isn't. So you're doing everything you can. You're stimulating your mind through a whole host of other highbrow hobbies, but you may just have to admit that some problems have no solution, and that there's a chance. I wouldn't say a good one, but there is a chance you may not find somebody. I know no one likes to hear the truth, but that's what we do at Asshole Consulting. You have to prepare yourself for the fact that maybe there isn't a smart enough girl out there, or one that you would romantically love. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be at your IQ or higher, plus or minus one standard deviation. But if you're in Mensa, man, it's going to be real hard. But I would not beat yourself up over this for something that is out of your control. And you have done everything, let's talk stoicism, except what you do and do not control. You have adjusted for every variable that is under your control. You have done pretty much everything I think you could do to find yourself interesting, engaging, and intelligent people. Master's degree, taking some French, Latin dancing, you're in Mensa. I mean, if there's any other hobbies, certainly go ahead and pick them up, but, don't expect, like I go play volleyball, more for the exercise, and I used to join maybe I'd meet some interesting people. Like, hey, you guys want to go get a beer after? Well, I gotta go take care of my kid. I gotta pick up my daughter. I'm like, all right. I'll hop back on my bike and go home. And that. But the only thing I could say differently is, I know this is gonna suck. It's gonna suck. but try online dating or using the internet, because at least there you can screen. Like, find some discussion boards of really intelligent people. Put up a profile saying, I have a super high IQ. I can't meet anybody really intelligent. You're going to catch flack. You're going to catch hell. But you might, if you post such a unique dating profile and you're forthright above it, like, I want it. Da-da-da, yeah, da-da-da, an IQ of 147, this and that. I don't want to talk about reality TV. Please let me know. Again, it costs you nothing except time and maybe a little bit of frustration. But it's just another wire or line to put in the pond and hopefully catch a fish. What else was there? 20 or so and subsequently been friend-zoned by them all. At first I didn't mind this so much after my now it sort of sucks. Okay, well, see, but I would say check your behaviors, find out why you're getting friend-zoned. Are you being too nice? But I don't think you approached them as friends. You really didn't necessarily want them. You needed friends. You needed friends more than you needed a relationship. Well, yeah, if you just need friends, you will be friend-zoned because that's what you kind of wanted. Some of them might want it. But if you had said, I tried asking them out romantically, but I got friend-zoned regardless, then I'd be a little bit worried. But now that you know what you want, those are kind of like your 20 female friends. And friend-zoning, you sound too nice maybe. Like, are you taking them out? Look, it's cool to take them Latin dancing, but you're pouring booze in their throat, okay? And you can't be the nice, lovable guy. Certainly don't change yourself. But don't, like, if they like, hey, let's bring our kids together and go on a picnic. No, fuck that shit. You are the Latin dancer. You are the Latin lover. You take them out dancing. You get them a bunch of drinks. Now, I know increasingly so social justice warriors are starting to invade the ballroom dance scenes across the planet. So I'm not saying, pinch them in the ass or anything like that. But, yeah, and remember, less is more. You don't have to pick them up. You don't have to offer them favors. Less is more. Do some dancing, da-da-da. And then, right when I used, dance with this girl 2 or 3 times and say, I'm sorry I got to split. Even though, like, you don't have anything to do that night, yeah, you leave. You take off. Watch The Tao of Steve. I know it's a movie, but it'll give you a template to work with to avoid being friend-zoned, if that's a term, verb. But let's just see how it goes forward. I think just because you come off your divorce, you just like, hey, I like to talk to somebody, and I'm pathetic and sad. But yeah, let's see if you keep getting friend-zoned. Just don't be friend-zoned. I know it sounds just. The girl says, hey, will you do me this favor? No, I got a date. Walk in with a hot chick. That's another one. You bring a ringer. You know ringers? I don't know if that, like, at least here in the Twin Cities. Well, anywhere, wherever I went dancing. It would, at first, for a while, it was great because every girl would say yes to a dance. Everyone wanted to learn to dance. It was a grand old time. You're just there to have fun. But then as cliques started to form and the groups started to coagulate or coalesce, then girls wouldn't dance with you unless they knew you knew how to dance. So I'd imagine you got to have a female friend that's really pretty and knows how to dance, and you're a very good dancer too. Can you bring her in as a ringer? So what I would do is I would grab, like my buddy Julie, or who else was a ringer? Buddy Rachel, that was after her. I would just, I had enough friends that I could grab a girl, walk in, and before I ask any girl to dance, we go right onto that dance floor, and I burn up all my best moves and just demonstrate to everyone there, I know what the fuck I'm doing, I know how to dance. That might be one thing right off the bat. You dance 2 or 3 dances with this girl, then you start asking other girls to dance. Doesn't sound like you got any trouble with girls saying yes to a dance, but plus you're probably very well known in the community anyway. But having a ringer, not only for getting girls to say yes to dance, but taking this hot girl, you dance a little bit, maybe find someone off the scene, someone who they don't know who that girl is, teach her some moves. She doesn't have to be hot in this case, or a dancer. She just has to be hot. You bring her in, dance with her like for an evening, and then leave. And then people are like, well, who is that? They're like, this girl, and kind of seeing each other. And, really? And then all of a sudden you show up with, it didn't go anywhere. She had too many demands, and I just, I wasn't the one for me. You dumped her? And it's like, well, I wouldn't say dump. We weren't really that. And then also like, what has he got? It's stupid. I know you don't understand it because your IQ's over here, but this is the normie bullshit. This is the petty female crap and strategy that's just so stupid. It's like, no, you can't just ask a girl to dance. You got to demonstrate first with this, gal who you have no interest in, but she's your friend. And then, now you'll say, all right, those are the rules, those are the games. Help me out, buddy. Am I doomed to live a happy and fulfilled life alone, or is there hope I can find someone to make life complicated and miserable? Yours truly, Conflicted. Okay, look, life is too short, and especially at your age, to be chasing after women or putting them that high on your priority list. There's so much other stuff to do in the world. And on top of it, to find a quality girl, you're not going to... Yeah, you got to ask them out. You do have to go out there and put yourself out there. But you stand just as good as a chance, if not higher, doing what you're doing now, having fun, doing your thing, and not worrying about girls. I mean, really try not to worry about girls. I know you would like that, but I would like a Mach 1 1972 Mustang. It's just... Well, okay, maybe that might happen. But I mean, throughout my entire history of dating, once I stopped giving a fuck, then things happened. Not only in terms of volume, but in terms of quality. And you could go and try and find a girl, and I think you're doing everything under your control, but you have to either be patient, but then also acknowledge the statistical unlikelihood that there's going to be something out there. I don't think it's you. I'm being deadly serious. I mean, are there some things we could tweak and tip and knock about you? Yeah, maybe you could lose your 20 pounds. Maybe you could be a little bit more curt and cutty offish with the girls, a little more standoffish, keep them at arm's length. Maybe you could try and remember their names and their faces a little bit better. I really don't think it's that. I think it's 80% your intelligence, and just, your brain is like way over here, dude. I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I've been there. That's what it is. And it's because you can't find a girl you're real interested in. Oh, there's a girl you'd like to bang. Of course, yeah, that's sex. That has nothing to do with intellectual stimulation and you dating a girl. But yeah, and life is too short to be tortured. Remember middle school? Do you remember middle school? Wasn't that fun, torching your shit over girls? You had no fucking clue what to do. Hey, you want to go with me to the dance? No, okay. Mom, how do I get girls? You're just wonderful the way you are, and don't hit the gym and don't lift weights. Girls like a sensitive man. It's not that bad, but it certainly doesn't have to be repeated. And I don't know, dude. You're doing everything I could possibly think of doing, and now the risk is not that you're not going to find a gal. I think you're going to find it. You're going to find a gal. Your chances of finding a gal are pretty much the best is how you're doing it now. And I'm sure some armchair pickup artists who live in the mother's basements will have some theory and doctrine down below that they read off of some other person's website. I'm more worried that you're going to waste your time chasing after these girls to no avail, because there be no avail anyway, and making yourself miserable in the process, and at the opportunity cost of doing other shit you could probably do. So I would not give up on women, but I would certainly stop worrying about it, because you just got to admit there may be the chance that, well, okay, that's not the chance. There's not that many smart girls out there that are going to be interesting to you. They're just not. And trying to, like, again, you want to go fish for that one sturgeon in the lake in Ohio, good luck. You're going to get miserable doing that. So I'd be going and doing other shit, or at least at minimum not worrying it, because you're doing enough shit. I don't know, maybe try another hobby. Again, the online dating thing, you can do that. I'm saying it not to make you feel better, but the problem is not you. The problem is society. And think about this. How many women have you met that have as wide and varied background and interests as you do? You're doing your Latin dancing. You're doing all the other type of dances you're talking about. You're getting your master's in astronomy. You be like, really? You think, how many girls have you met where you're just like, because they're not smart? Did you see Lost? Oh my gosh, I don't know what's gonna happen over at The Walking Dead or the Game of Thrones. The dragons came! The dragons! Yay! They're at the Game of Thrones! Are they sitting at the throne? No, they're dragons and they're flying around. We've been waiting, how long has that been? 6, 7 years? South Park even spoofed it, for God's sake. So, alright, anyway, I know that's not a solution. Like, oh yeah, you're fucking up here. Yeah, I don't see it. I do not see it anywhere. There's some small shit you can do, but yeah, just keep on going, man. I would just keep on going and don't worry about it. Girl's gonna show up when a girl shows up, and the larger risk you face is lessening what remains, the remaining half of your life. You know, I don't have a girl. Well, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I don't have a girl. I got enough shit going on right now. What was it? Kelly's Heroes? They capture the German colonel, and the Germans are about to overrun the position. The Germans are like, gentlemen, I must warn you, the Germans are preparing a counter-effort. So then Telly Savalas comes in, he's like, hey, listen, we don't care about the German army. We got enough troubles of our own. To the left, General Patton. To the right, General Eisenhower. And behind us, our own goddamn artillery. And the only good thing to say about the weather is it keeps our Air Corps from blowing us all to hell because it's too lousy to fly. Verstehen Sie? It's a great movie. So, alright, that's it. Hope that helped out. You guys got questions, go to assholeconsulting.com. You can read all my different books. Curse of the High IQ among one of them. That's available on Amazon.com. The podcast, Clary Podcast, and the blog, CaptainCapitalism.blogspot.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.